Welcome to the Alex Ford Podcast, where we bring you the latest strategies to build a 6 or 7-figure online business and quit your 9-to-5 job. You'll hear from the best online entrepreneurs, the top marketers, and the rising stars who are making it happen right now. Every week, you'll get actionable steps to turn your digital marketing dream into a profitable and rewarding full-time career. Here's your host, entrepreneur, world-class trainer, and marketing strategist, Alex Ford.
Hey, welcome back to the podcast. If you've been following, you know that we have a very exciting episode today where we're going to share with you the simplest way to build a profitable online business in 2025. Now, seriously, this is a brand new strategy that I've discovered with my friend, now turned business partner, Drew Kairos. And you know, we're on the verge of a new year, right? 2025 is almost here. And now, like literally now is the best time to start an online business. And why? Well, we've got a new year coming, and you can either set yourself up for success, you know, personally and financially, or not. And as I mentioned, we've discovered the simplest way to be able to do that. And get this, it's with no complex strategies, no complex or costly tech tools. So things like, you know, ClickFunnels or Aweber. And if you've been in the industry, you know those things can cost hundreds of dollars per month. And we're going to reveal to you some amazing tips on how to be able to grow a successful online business, including some of the biggest mistakes new marketers make and how to avoid them. But we're also going to share the details of our new mentorship program to be able to help you start making money online. So generating leads, making sales, making high ticket commissions. So make sure that you listen to this entire episode because there's going to be so much value on here. And if you're wondering who's Alex and who's Drew and why should you listen to us? So, you know, I've been in the online business industry since 2011 and I've seen it all. Seen network marketing companies that I've been part of. I've done cryptocurrency, small business. I've done an ad agency, all sort of things online. But it wasn't until I discovered digital marketing or affiliate marketing that I was able to create some of the biggest success online, including having $20,000 months. I've even had a $100,000 in a day launch. That was incredible, being able to hit that level within 24 hours. And I do have my business partner, Drew, here, who he has mentored over 10,000 people one-on-one as well to be able to create success online. And between both of us, we've coached some of the most successful people in the industry that are making multiple 6-figure incomes, even 7-figure incomes online. So Drew, awesome to have you here again. I know we did the last episode together, and you know, if someone hasn't watched it, I'd recommend definitely go check that out. You know, we talked a lot of things about, you know, the future of online business, even the future of like the economy next year. And Drew, I think you had some great feedback as well from people about that episode.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's everything that's relevant right now. It's all the stuff that's going on in our world that we should be paying attention to if we're not. And I think we had a lot of value in that episode too. It wasn't just gossip.
Yes, it was. There was a lot of value on there as well, especially how to make better financial decisions for yourself and your family leading into 2025 and the future. And definitely how not to be replaced by AI. That was a big conversation we had because AI is very big. There's even the new Tesla robot that's going to be coming out that's going to be taking a lot of jobs, but you can prepare yourself to not be replaced and position yourself in the best way financially, you know, moving forward. But, you know, now that we're talking about that, I wanted to just, you know, like preface this entire conversation with some of the things that are happening right now, because as you know, we discussed, 2025 is almost here, and we can make decisions to either make next year the best year possible, and even if you're watching this in 2025, you can still do that. You can make it the greatest year for yourself personally and financially, or maybe the opposite, right? And with the new administration that's coming into the US, right? This isn't going to be a political conversation, by the way. We're not going to be, you know, supporting anyone or talking bad about anyone, but we are going to talk some facts. And with the new administration, you know, there's a lot of people out there that think it's a great thing that they're going to be coming into power, but there's also some people that think it's going to be a bad thing, right? A lot of things are going to shift economically, politically around the world. And I just wanted to share some facts here, Drew, that people can actually see. Again, this isn't a political conversation, but whatever side, whether you're on the right side or on the left side, this is good things to know. Okay, and currently, right, we've got a new president that's coming into power next year. And by the way, I'm in Australia. I'm not in the US. I'm saying that like I'm based in the US, which Drew is in Connecticut, but we have a new company and program that we'll discuss that is US based. So I think this is important to know. And it applies to all the world anyway, because the US economy does have a big impact on everyone. But one of the things that I read this week was, there is an extraordinary amount of wealthy people that are going to be in this new administration with Trump. Again, whether you support him or not, this conversation isn't about him as a person. I do believe there's some good things about him, but there's some things that he could be better as well. But in this conversation, it's not about him, right? It's about how is his administration shaping up to be? And as you can see, there's actually a lot of billionaires that are going to be in the administration. So of course, Donald Trump is one, and we'll discuss what this means in a second. But we've got Elon Musk. There's some other people here I don't know. There's Vivek Ramaswamy, right? And these are just the billionaires in the administration. There's even millionaires as well. So, JD Vance is himself a multi-millionaire. And there's a lot of other millionaires here too. There was another list I saw that I couldn't find that had a lot more of the people in the administration. But the reason that I wanted to bring this up is what does this actually mean, right? For us, for you, for your family moving forward. So this could either could be a good thing or not a good thing, right? From the good standpoint, and this is something that I do believe, that the fact that there is a lot of business people, right? Millionaires, billionaires, it means that there is a lot of people in this administration that have experience with, economy, right? Business, right? A lot of millionaires and billionaires, especially billionaires, that they hire a lot of staff, right? Like a lot of employees, they create jobs, right? They're job creators. So they know how to create jobs and support people for them to make an income as well. So the fact that there's all these people, there could potentially be better decisions made that can impact the economy in a positive way and can help things to be able to get better. But then there's a bad side of things. The bad side of things, could you think what could potentially be the bad side of
having
this?
people with money in control, that type of thing?
Yeah.
I guess if there were unsavory ways of accruing their wealth, that could possibly be an issue. But most of these people, like you said, you can follow where their money came from. You can see that it is from business of some sort. To me, I feel like it's going to be mostly positive, but even if it's not, there's a workaround for it, right?
Yeah, totally. And you know what? I agree. There's going to be people on the left that are going to be like, so many millionaires and billionaires, they're going to take, advantage of the economy, to enrich themselves even further. But one of the things I also understand here is, well, they're already wealthy going into power. So sure, we could be like, yeah, maybe they'll just increase their wealth, and we're yet to see. But that's been happening forever, right? Even the current or previous administration, the one that's about to leave power, there's people in there that have enriched themselves through politics, right? One person
trading.
Yeah, one person I can think of is Nancy Pelosi, right? I think she earns like $200,000 a year, but she's worth like 20 million or something or more. Right? So it's always happened. But again, this isn't a political conversation. It's like, what does this mean for you? It's like, regardless of what's going to happen, you can position yourself in a way to be able to secure your financial future, whether you're excited about the new administration and the new economy, or whether there's fear there about the new administration and the upcoming looming economy. And one thing I'd like to share too was, how has inflation played into all this? So I brought up this chart to actually have a look at, the facts first. And inflation has been something that has impacted a lot of people in the US, right? Even around the world. In Australia, it's the same thing as well. Inflation has gone through the roof. Maybe not as much as the US, but it is making an impact in people's personal economies. But here we've got, all right, so last time that Trump, he had his presidency, inflation was pretty low, right? 2070 to 20. Now, and by the way, this is from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. But then if we look at from 2020, and if you look at, after 2021, so the Biden-Harris administration came in, inflation has gone, through the roof, right? Sure, it's come down, but what does this mean? Well, number one, with this new administration, if things went well, they could potentially come down to the same levels as it was before. Whereas some other people might believe, well, it's going to be worse, right? So if inflation went higher, it's going to have even more of an impact on people's personal economies. Mm-hmm. But what do you think, Drew? What two decisions do you think people could make, whatever belief they have, for their own personal economies in 2025?
Yeah, good question. So for me, it all revolves around personal power, like most things do. So if we look at this, the Trump's presidency, obviously your dollar was worth more, went further. You were able to buy more with it than you could in the last 4 years under this Biden administration. A lot of us kind of saw that it created all kinds of tension in our lives. The money that we were making wasn't going as far. We were spending more on utilities. We were spending more on groceries. Maybe you weren't able to travel or enjoy things. The way I look at it, if you think things are going to reverse, maybe that's good. It could happen, but do we want to put all of our eggs in one basket, so to speak? Do we want to count on this economy going back to where it was? Or even better than where it was? Or do we want to take things into our own hands and see what is it that we can do, whether or not the inflation goes up or goes down? What can we do that's within our power to make our lives more enjoyable, more easier, less stressful? The easy answer is make more money, right? The hard thing is, how do we do that?
Exactly. And you know what? I love what you said, right? The answer is make more money. Because that actually is always the answer. Make more money. Mm-hmm. If the inflation goes back down to a good level, well, it's a great opportunity to be able to make more money because there's going to be more people that are going to be buying. There's going to be, people are going to have that disposable income again. They're not going to be stressed. So you can, whatever products you want to sell online, whether they're yours or someone else's, you're going to buy more. Mm-hmm. But if it went the other way, right, and things went even higher in inflation, well, the solution is to make more money, right? Because even if inflation goes up, but you're able to increase your income, right? 2x, 3x, 10x, make $10,000, $20,000 a month. Heck, even if you're earning $3,000 a month and you go to $5,000, $6,000 a month, that's going to make a huge impact on your personal economy. But that's the solution. Always make more money regardless of what's happening. And then what happens in the economy, like the actual, the country's economy, the global economy, is not going to have an impact on you. Now, there is one other thing. It also depends what products are you selling, because some products in a high economy, in a high inflation, aren't going to sell. So you got to be able to know what sort of products are going to sell regardless of the economy, regardless of a recession, regardless of high inflation, right? And that's something that you need to figure out. We can help you with that because that's what we specialize in, right? Being able to sell products online and just monetizing that. But let's continue this conversation, right? So that's just important to know. And then there was another chart here that I wanted to share, which was housing prices, right? Same thing, okay? During Trump's presidency, the house prices were much lower. So, I mean, even in 2020, they were around 320,000. And then Biden's had the Harris presidency, today, as, July 24, the average house price is $500,000, $500,000.
Yeah. I think it's come down a little bit to about 420, but it's still really high.
Well, still really high, right? It's still almost doubled from before. But again, what does this mean? Right. Well, there's a lot of people that are not able to purchase a house. right? Especially the young, was a Gen Zs, I think it is, right? That they're not able to purchase their own house. And the same things in Australia. It's the same thing as well. So even a year ago, house prices were on average $550,000 for a house. Now it's from 750,000 Australian dollars. We paid even more for our house as well when we bought a new house recently. So again, the solution always is make more money because, coming into 2025, I mean, there's already a lot of people anywhere, Australia, US, that cannot afford a house, especially like the new generation, like it was the Gen Zs. But by being able to increase your income, again, that's always a solution because you could be able to afford anything regardless of what happens in the economy. Drew, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's a crazy world right now, the way this housing market is. I just bought the house that I'm in right now 2.5 years ago. I don't even remember how much I paid for it. I had a huge down payment, which really helped. But the interesting part about this housing market right now in the US is basically in order to afford an average house, even, you have to be making six figures a year. You need to be at least at like 110,000. In some states, you're looking at more like 180, 190,000, even the higher price states like California, Hawaii, Massachusetts, whatever. But if you consider the average income, the average salary or take home for most people is going to be around, let's say, $35,000, $40,000 a year. If that's the case and you're only making 36 grand a year, you probably don't have much to put down on a down payment, right? And then you're only going to qualify for a house that's maybe 125 grand. What are you going to buy for that price? It's unreal.
Yeah, I know it's crazy. But then, like bringing all of this back to what we're sharing, right? So coming to 2025, you can set yourself up for success financially, or you can not make any decisions. And if things go south in 2025, then, your situation is just going to be worse, right? And this is why Drew and I also decided to partner. Because, if you're watching this, there's a good chance that you're either already in the online business industry, maybe you're looking at starting an online business. And we know that regardless of what happens in the economy, we've been able to continue to make income. Like I've made some of the, biggest breakthroughs in my income, even when the economy wasn't good. So back in 2011, 2012, it was about 2012, I made my first $20,000 a month. And that was not too long after the GFC, where everyone kept telling me, friends and family, that, you can't make money because, the economy still wasn't the best. But by making those decisions, you can absolutely secure your financial future and not have to worry about the ups and downs that just are naturally going to happen. So then, me and Drew, we actually came together, we joined forces to be able to set up a new mentorship program. So as we've discussed earlier, we've had some great success online. We've mentored, over 10,000 people. That's Drew alone, and, all the thousands of people that I've mentored as well. And we decided to come together and launch a new mentorship program that's going to help people to be able to grow their business, make more income online. But before we share more about that, want to discuss some of those things of why most people fail in online business and how to succeed. Right. And there's generally three biggest pitfalls that happen. Now, there's one thing I do want to mention first is, there are actually a lot of online businesses that don't succeed online. Absolutely. And that's something important for you to know. Not because it means that you're going to fail, but so that you can prepare yourself to succeed. Right. Because if there's one thing I know and that I've learned is that if you develop the skill sets and you have the right mindset and you execute and take action on what you learn, then you can guarantee success for yourself, right? By doing the work. But by not knowing these things and doing the wrong thing, that can lead to failure, right? And unfortunately, most people that go into business, they don't follow through, right? They might purchase a course, and I'm sure you've seen it, Drew, as well. Right? They might purchase a course, they don't even open it up. Right. I think that there's a very common stat in the, online business industry, digital courses, where only about 10% of people complete a course. And that's completing the course. The other 90%, they either start and, they just stop early, or they don't even open up the course that they purchased, right? So it's important for you to know this. But what are those three biggest pitfalls? So the first one is having too many options and no direction. What does that mean? So it's like sometimes people come into an online business, or they want to start making an income online, and maybe they buy into a course or business, whatever they do. But I'm not sure if you've noticed this, Drew, that as soon as you search something new online, like for example, an online business, all of a sudden you start seeing ads and videos about other online businesses
all
and
of its competitors,
programs, all the competitors, and then you just all of a sudden get flooded with that. Or maybe you're looking up maybe a specific, I don't know what it is, like a specific medicine or just something, right? Or a specific type of clothes, and then all of a sudden you start seeing all these other ads getting served in front of you for that stuff. I know that's happened recently. Again, we moved house. I've never had to maintain lawns. It's something I've had to start learning. And then my newsfeed on Facebook is just constantly all these lawn maintenance products. A bit annoying, but it's also helped me to learn more about lawn, right? But what happens is when people start an online business, then they think, oh wow, well I've got to promote multiple products, or I got to buy multiple courses, or I got to have multiple tools, or I've got to have multiple websites and multiple funnels and multiple social media platforms. And this is something interesting that happens with our brains, that the more we think we have to focus on, like lots of things, the more overwhelmed we get, and it stops us from moving forward, right? Because we just think we have to do too much. And more often it paralyzes people from taking action, right? So being able to get clear on, okay, what is that one product, one social media strategy, right? Maybe one mentorship, one course that you can focus, because even listening to too many people can hold people back, because it can be conflicting information or different ways of going about, business and marketing, right? So being able to focus on what's that one thing and stick to the one and focus on that until you get results is a very, it's a big mistake not doing that, but you want to be able to focus on that one thing. Drew, what's the next one?
This, even relating to too many options, like it's hitting things hitting the nail on the head there. Been there, done that, seen it hundreds of times. When I first started in affiliate marketing, I created a spreadsheet of every single offer I could possibly promote to anyone, and I didn't make any money with it until I had simplified, created a direction, created that kind of hierarchy of what products I wanted to sell in what order. And it's overwhelming, right? Which is our next point. Overwhelming theories, no execution. If you're learning and not doing, if you're acquiring information and not practicing it, it's not doing you any good. I use the same analogy every time I describe this to people, and I always use doctors, just because I think it's an easy one that everyone can relate to. So if we talk about overwhelming theories with no execution, think of it this way. Would you rather have, if you were going in for a procedure at a hospital, do you want a doctor who's watched 10,000 hours of videos and has never performed that operation? Or do you want a doctor that performs that same procedure day in and day out multiple times a day? I think it's a no-brainer which one is going to have the better skill set and a higher likelihood of success. So that's what we need to do in our businesses, right? When we learn something new, we need to practice it. Execute on it, reiterate, get feedback, all of these things that a lot of us aren't doing, because that's the frustrating and not sexy side of this business. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. You want to execute early. I've had some conversations recently of I can think of one person, I'm not going to mention names, that has bought a lot of courses and a lot of education. But then that's the thing that keeps him stuck, that he's been through too much. It's like when you have too much in your head, you just don't know what to do, right? So being able to simplify, like even if you're brand new and you start going through some training, do not go through hours and hours worth of training. Just start executing as early as possible, because that's that you learn in the execution, right? I love that analogy you gave about about the surgeon. Just a quick, simple one is, if you read 1,000 books on how to ride a bike, you're not going to learn how to ride a bike. You probably won't even want to ride a bike after that. But if you actually get on the bike, even if you fall over and you don't know how to ride it, you're still going to learn more than by reading 1,000 books on how to ride a bike, right? And there's many companies out there as well, and education and courses that they give you way too much theory, right? Like sometimes you have to watch hours and hours of theory before you even execute something. So having a simple process where you can start executing quick and having direction to be able to do that is so important. And we'll share more with you in a second how you can do that as well. But then the next one is another big pitfall that for beginners is lack of clarity on who their target audience is, or like their perfect customer, which also bleeds into that clarity on that messaging to attract that person. So, Drew and I have worked with a lot of people that just want to make money online, right? And that's a lot of what we've promoted, like courses and businesses and ways to be able to make an income online. And a lot of people, when they start, they want to go in that direction as well. Just how do I attract people that want to make an income online? And, one of the things that we've seen is people will launch their social media accounts, right? And then they're just targeting people who want to make money online. And that becomes their message. Like, hey, I help people make money online. But that message, it's too broad. It doesn't make sense to anyone. Anyone's going to scroll past that, and it's not going to speak to them because it's not calling out a very specific audience, a very specific type of person who has a very specific type of problem, who you can speak to that problem and say, hey, I've got the exact solution to that problem. Right? I'll give an example that I love to use. So just to make it real. So there's a lot of mums that come into online business and they want to attract other mums, right? And their messaging might be, I help mums make money online. But the funny thing is, those mums promoting that course, education, whatever it is, they don't make sales because their message is too broad, right? Mums are going to be scrolling through and they're going to read, I help mums make money online, but they kind of don't care, right? So they're going to keep scrolling past. But when that messaging gets clear on the exact problem mums have, that's where that audience starts resonating. So for example, like mums, they don't just want to make money online. It's usually a deeper struggle than that. And one of the deepest struggles is, maybe I'll give you a couple here, is that mom's husband, he's working so much. Maybe he's working 12-hour a day. She stays home with the kids. He's bringing in the money, and maybe she doesn't feel enough because she's not contributing financially to the family. Maybe she feels sorry for her husband and she just wants to be able to contribute and support him in that way, right? So that's a big pain point that moms have. The other one is, maybe the husband's working and making money, but they're only just getting by. They're only surviving. They're only able to pay their mortgage and their bills and their fuel, their gas, but then they don't have extra money to be able to buy their kids extra things, right? Maybe a kid wants that new latest toy, or maybe your kids want you to take them out for dinner, right? Even if it's like McDonald's or something, right? But a lot of families don't have that extra money, and the mom just has that desire to be able to make that extra cash to be able to get the things for their kids that they want, right? Or even deeper than that. Maybe the mom is not even able to buy herself a nice new dress, where she could when she was single and she didn't have a husband, she didn't have kids or responsibilities, right? But now she has a desire to be able to buy something nice for herself, right? Even if it's like a new perfume or something, she's not able to do that. So when, as if you're a marketer targeting moms who want to make money, now do you understand how just saying, I help moms make money online? Like, Drew, do you think that would attract that type of mom?
I always like to picture this as if it were in person. When I hear things like that, if you were to go in, like bump into somebody at the store and just be like, hey, I help people make money online, do you think they're going to be interested in what you have to say and they're going to want to hear more? Or are they just going to walk away and be like, well, that person's kind of weird? If you can seek to understand them, right, establish common ground, identify a problem, and then show them how you can help them solve that problem, it's a completely different story.
Exactly. And that's what we're saying. So back to that example with what Drew's saying, again, if you're just like, I help moms make money online. It's not going to work. And then people are like spinning their wheels trying to get somewhere, but they're not, because the message isn't resonating with their target audience. So then by realigning that message and being like, putting out a message in your content, in your ads, whether you show your face or you don't, but the message starts becoming, maybe you're sharing a story, right? And you're saying, I used to be a mom that, and maybe this isn't going to work for me so well because I'm not a mom. So let me put it, if it was an ad, are you a mom who's sick and tired of not being able to contribute financially to your family, right? And I totally get that, right? Because you might share a story of how that applied to you, and you could be saying, before I started learning how to make money on the internet, I wasn't able to contribute to my family. I felt sorry for my husband because he was working, 12 hours a day, and there's nothing that I could do about it. My kids always telling me about toys that they wanted that they saw on YouTube, and I couldn't even buy them the cheapest of toys. I couldn't even buy myself a dress or a new perfume, or just something small for myself to reward myself for being a wife and a mother, right? And if you want to be able to, if you feel the same, and if you relate and you're in that same position, and you just want to be able to make an extra $500 a month, right, an extra $1,000 a month, then I've got XYZ solution for you. Now, Drew, I know you're not a mom. Let's get clear on that. But you've worked with so many moms in the same space, and other people as well in different niches and different products that they're promoting. But based on probably the thousands of moms that you've worked with, how do you think that shift in messaging, what would that do for their content?
Yeah, I like to look at it as degrees of relevance. That's the phrase that I always use. So basically, if you're super broad, like you were saying originally, it's going to get lost in the noise. People are going to scroll past it. If it's a heartfelt story, if it's something that's in the words of your audience, you're using words in your messaging that they think to themselves or that they say to themselves, it's going to literally jump out of the screen and grab them. That makes the complete difference between whether people watch your content or not.
Yeah. You just reminded me of a principle that changed everything for me. And the principle is, that through the goal of marketing, through the goal of promotion, right, you want to enter the conversation that is already going on in the person's head. Mm-hmm. Because if you're able to mention what they're already thinking, that's going to convert into sales. Whereas moms are walking around going, I just want to make more money. I just want that. Although that is a general idea and concept, but that's not the conversation going in their head. And when you're able to pinpoint that and that becomes your messaging, seriously, like your business can change overnight, right? Which, it's not an easy thing to do, but that's where for most people, they need guidance to be able to do that, right? To be able to, just see what are they doing in their business, get clear on that messaging, that target audience, so that they can start, moving forwards to be able to convert more sales in their business.
And the exciting part about that, sorry to cut you off there, but the exciting part about this messaging side here is it doesn't matter what your video looks like. You don't need flashy transitions and trending music if your messaging is on point. It might help, but the messaging by itself should be enough to get you in with the people that you're trying to work with.
Totally. Absolutely. And something came up for me then. So many people are caught up with trying to make content that makes them go viral and viral and viral and viral and viral. And I've been there. I've got my top performing video has almost 8 million views. And one of the issues that I found with going viral is that viral videos do not convert into money. Because generally it's really broad messages that, it does get spread out, but it doesn't hit a specific pain point or connection or relationship with people that it doesn't make them want to buy, right? So by getting, like you say, getting clear on this messaging, you could have 1,000 followers or less, and you could start making sales from those 1,000 followers or less consistently while your audience slowly grows. But hey, look, if this is resonating with you, maybe you've been trying to build a business and you're not getting the results that you want. Maybe you are building an audience, but they're not converting into sales. Maybe you're struggling to grow that audience. Or maybe you're just in that phase where you're a beginner in your online business. Then, Drew and I have created a new program. It's a whole new company to be able to mentor people one-on-one to be able to get these results in their business and, of course, be able to create more income in their lives. Now, let me just screen share quickly with you. And the name of the company is Limitless Mentors, right? So this was the name that after so much thought, we came up with because, of course, we want to mentor people to success, but we ultimately want to be able to help people create a limitless life, right? Which means being limitless in the income that you can make, the lifestyle that you can live, the things that you can provide, for your family and for yourself, just really creating total freedom in your life. Not just making money, but all the things that money provides. And so we've set up a mentorship program on how you can generate more leads and commissions fast without the overwhelm and confusion, right? So let me just quickly share a little bit about it here. So there's 3 steps to this mentorship program. We've got a brand new social selling system. It's a very simple strategy. We've simplified as simple as can be. Some people say that they have simple strategies, but when you get into it, you have to set up all these complicated tech and stuff, right, Drew? And, but really, this is, you don't have to use complex funnels, email marketing campaigns, all that software like ClickFunnels, Aweber that costs hundreds of dollars a month, right? It's really using an Instagram account, or you could use a TikTok or Facebook. We're primarily focusing on Instagram because, heck, TikTok might be banned in the US next year, potentially.
Very true.
But Instagram, it's an amazing platform and it's designed for selling and making money now. You're going to be using a 2-page Google Doc, which we actually call it an anti-affiliate bridge funnel. It's a way to be able to sell your products without having any complicated software, and you can set up in 90 minutes or less, right? So you get high-level mentoring with us where there's going to be zero fluff, straightforward training, right? We're not going to take you into, tons and tons of theories and hours and days of information to be able to get to the point and start building your business. You have direct feedback from us, from Drew and myself, so that you can progress in your business, and we'll give you a proven strategy so that you can succeed. And you get access to us as well. So direct access. So instead of like some programs, it's like all you do is you just get on like one weekly group coaching session. And, sometimes you have to wait that whole week to get your questions answered, but you'll have access to us 24/7, where any questions you have, or you want your content reviewed, your profile reviewed, anything, we're there to be able to help you, right at your fingertips on your phone. Of course, there's a little bit about us, which we've already shared. And, it is a game-changing strategy, seriously. Drew, how simple is this strategy that we've created?
It really couldn't get any easier. That's the number one piece of advice I always give to beginners is do less. Based on my own experience, it's very easy to get overwhelmed and get lost. I've seen people that take weeks or months to set up the tech for these other companies that claim to be an easy setup. This one you can literally do in 90 minutes or less. And 90 minutes is going to be if you're a really bad typer.
Well, we set one up the other day in like 15 minutes, right? But obviously we've got experience here. But for most people, in 90 minutes or less is totally possible.
And the focus is on messaging.
Yeah, totally. It's the actual thing that converts sales. That's the focus. Mm-hmm. Right? So we've simplified it with our 1, 2, 3 social traffic and sales strategy. So again, there's no techie funnels to set up, literally complicated software that you got to use. And some people say it's simple, but there's always some degree of complication. And you don't have to go viral, right? You just stop worrying about that. And so many people teach that. And hey, I've taught that in the past as well, right? But if content goes viral on its own, great, but it's not the focus because, viral does not convert into commissions, right? We actually have proof of that. And you don't even have to have a huge following, right? You could start with 1,000 Instagram followers or less even, because, all it takes is one person to say, hey, I'm interested about your products. And if you know the right simple process to lead them through, they could potentially turn into a sale, right? All it takes is one person. That doesn't mean every person is going to buy, but it could be the first one, the second one, the third one, right? So you just got to know how to lead those people, how to find out what are the problems that they have, and present your offer or opportunity to them in a way that's going to be the solution to their problems. And if you do that with the simple, social selling system that we have, and we'll give you all the templates, we'll give you everything to say. This isn't about selling or convincing. And when you do that, then it's so much simpler to be able to convert sales without having to do all that extra complicated technical stuff. All right.
Super practical.
It's very practical. So, we've simplified it. It's low cost. So it's low to no upfront cost, for investing in terms of tools. Of course, there's always an investment into your education, but if you're able to invest in your education and not have, like costly tools you have to pay every month, like that is a thing that we've noticed holds a lot of people back. Just those ongoing tools where you're spending $200 a month ongoing. And by the time you get to 3 months, for some people, they haven't made money, maybe because they also don't have that one-to-one mentorship. But that's kind of what holds a lot of people back. Right. So being able to invest in mentorship and just not need any expenses and have that direction to convert sales, it's just powerful. So you'll be able to get results faster. And we have a process to eliminate that overwhelm by getting clear guidance and support to help you build your business. Drew, anything that you want to share?
I don't think so. It's pretty straightforward right there. We're giving you guys just practical, no fluff, actionable content. We're getting you right on the ground running in the front lines faster than any other digital training business out there. And we're giving you feedback on what you're doing immediately. It's definitely a game changer.
Absolutely. So look, if you're wondering, if you want to work with Drew and I so we can actually help you one-on-one to be able to grow your business, then what you can do is you can reach out to us, either DM me on Instagram or Facebook. I'll put the link up here so that you can go there, or you can contact Drew as well. I'll put his links up on, you should see him on the screen. So you can DM him on Facebook or Instagram. But, a lot of people would be wondering, well, I don't have, time to do a mentorship program. And, what I wanted to say to that is like, do you have time to continue struggling financially, to continue not making the money that you want in your business? Like a lot of people, they'll just go buy more courses and buy more courses. And that becomes more time consuming because you have to sit there and watch so many videos. But doing something mentorship is very different. It's having real direct access to someone that has the experience, that has the results, and knows exactly what you need to do to be able to get results. It actually saves you a lot of time. And with this mentorship program, the very first thing that happens is you get access to a fast track guide, which will help you get things set up really quickly. And you can book right away your first one-to-one strategy session where we're going to go through everything that you're doing and give you the exact clear path to be able to start converting sales. So the next one is about, what if you don't have experience? Maybe you've just got started. Maybe you haven't set up your Instagram account or any sort of marketing that you've done yet. So we're looking for people that have already are actively building their business online. However, if you don't have experience with marketing and converting sales, but you're actively doing things, then we can help you. We can help you get there. This is designed to be able to take you from where you're at now to where you want to be. But even if you're a complete beginner, maybe you haven't started an online business, reach out to us. That's going to be on a case-by-case basis, depending on what you're looking to achieve. And if we feel that it is going to be the right fit to help you, get started with making an income online, then we'll have a discussion on how we can help you as well. And then there's other, if you're wondering, that if you're thinking that maybe you don't have the money to invest in education, well, if you absolutely don't have the money, then, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to help you because we're also here to invest our time into those people that invest in themselves, right? But if you want to finally be able to make an income online, maybe you haven't been making those sales that you want for weeks, months, maybe years, then, sometimes making an investment into actual mentorship, that is the solution to be able to get results, right? Again, like I mentioned before, sometimes just buying a course isn't the solution because now you got to go through all these videos. Sure, you're going to implement, but then you don't have feedback as to, like why your stuff is working or not, right? I've done so much mentorship. I've paid $2,000 a month for coaching. I can think of someone else. I paid $10,000 for 3 months for coaching over 3 months. Someone else, I paid $10,000 for coaching over. Like, I've invested so much money in mentorship, but one of the things I know is that, and it's the program's not $10,000, by the way, but one of the things I know is that every time I've invested money, no matter how much, into actual coaching and mentorship, even courses, but every time I've invested money into mentorship, I've got results. I've made more money. Why? Because now I have accountability. Now I have someone who can directly give me feedback as to, the work that I'm doing, and I can tweak it. In fact, the first time that I hired a mentor, even courses, but every time I've invested money into mentorship, I've got results. I've made more money. Why? Because now I have accountability. Now I have someone who can directly give me feedback as to, the work that I'm doing, and I can tweak it. In fact, the first time that I hired a mentor, I think that might have been $10,000, $15,000. It was a long-term program. Just from the first one strategy session that I did with my mentor, who was a 8-figure or like 7-figure entrepreneur, within 2 weeks, I had already made an extra $10,000 in my business just from that one single mentorship call. So that's the power of mentorship. So it's something to consider, right? If you want to work with us and you want us to help you to be able to grow your business and make an income online, just reach out to us. All we have to do is have a conversation at this point to see what your goals are, what you're looking to achieve, see where you're at. And then if we feel that we would be the right fit to help you move forward and do the mentorship program, we'll send you the information, the details, the breakdown, everything that you need to know so that you can make that decision for yourself as well if it is going to be a fit for you, or maybe not, right? Sometimes it might not be the right fit for you, but until you see the information, you're not going to know for yourself as well. So make sure that you reach out to us. We are here to help. Drew, any last words, my friend?
No, you summed it up really well. We are here to help. Mentorship is the biggest shortcut to success and saving time in your business. The ball's in your court.
Awesome. And stick around as well. If you've been following this podcast, subscribe, because there's going to be more content coming in the future. Content from myself. I'm going to have Drew on more often as well. I just love having these conversations with Drew just because of the wealth of experience that we both have together. 22 years combined, right? So subscribe and we'll catch you in the next episode.
Thanks for tuning in to the Alex Ford Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to visit alexfordpodcast.com for more free resources on how to build a 6 or 7-figure online business and turn your digital marketing dream into a profitable and rewarding full-time career. And if you love this podcast, remember to subscribe and follow Alex on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.